Almada again. Swings it to the back post. Header! Boom! Yakamakis! Atlanta United playing with 10 men. Score to open the game in New York City.
The Battle of the Bronx is in the books, and the Five Stripes rescue a point in New York for their first of the two-leg stretch away from home as they now prep for Toronto FC in BMO Field over in Canada. That's Jason Longshore. I'm Joe Fryhofer. This is your AT&T Countdown to Kickoff. This point for the Five Stripes, easily one of the most battled for of the entire season. A busy night in the pocketbook, and it was Franco Ibarra who had an early exit to be able to walk away from this with a point with a man down for nearly a half hour of that second half. Gonzalo Pineda got to be pretty content with this result.
Physical game. Atlanta showed a lot of character in this one, in my opinion. Going down a man, but then getting the opening goal, and don't worry, we'll come back to it. But then they had to fight towards the end after New York City conceded. It was a good response to some adversity with the red card. They handled the physical play. I thought they controlled the game for the most part. And you come out of Yankee Stadium with a point. That's not easy to do. And
you teed me up just there, so I gotta say it. Boom, Yakamakis. 3 goals in his 3 starts for Atlanta United. His impressive start for the Five Stripes continues, and Brooks Lennon, a very impressive defensive duel out there with Thales Magno, the tricky Brazilian. He had his hands full for a majority of the night.
Yeah, let's start with Brooks. I mean, containing Thales Magno is one of the best dribblers in Major League Soccer. When he's out on the wing, I thought there were a ton of individual 1v1 duels that Lennon won defensively. Really prevented New York City from getting a lot of joy on that side of the pitch. And we got to talk about Yorgos. I mean, he just keeps producing. On a night where he really didn't see the ball a ton, it was tough to get into the attacking third. He makes the most of the big opportunity, was not going to be denied. Thiago Almada just puts it up for the big man to let him go get it.
A different playing surface for these guys at Yankee Stadium, a bit more of a narrow pitch overall. And late on, the guys held on with a couple of clutch clearance stops. Santiago Sosa had to take a breathtaking clearance off of that back line for Brad Guzan. They hung on late, 1 down, and did it quite well.
Holding on at the end, like you mentioned, Santiago Sosa comes in after Ibarra's red carded. Big play in the 6, clearing his lines, but also just other work defensively. Brad had a couple of big saves as well. It was a good performance overall with good quality, but also that grit that this team has to display.
So now the Muchachos head to BMO Field over in Toronto, Canada. Federico Bernardeschi has had a star-studded start to his season. 3 goals already on the season. In Olympico that he scored from a corner 2 matches ago. And Mark Anthony Kaye, history-making passing for him last match as well.
108 complete passes out of 112 attempts. That's the best percentage in MLS with somebody passing more than 110 times since 2010 when they started tracking this. Very active Mark Anthony Kaye. And I think we're used to seeing him breaking up the play and being physical and defensive. But now he's getting on the ball and taking some of that burden off of Michael Bradley, off of Jonathan Osorio, letting them play to their strengths. Kaye will be a handful in the midfield for Atlanta United. But Bernardeschi, I mean, what more can you say about the Italian? He's one of the most talented players in the league. He's got an incredibly talented left foot. And he's going to be a problem, as we saw at Mercedes-Benz Stadium earlier this year.
Last time here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium for him, it was 1-1, but felt like there was a little bit more left on the table still to go for Pineda and his guys. Some lineup changes as well. Franco Ibarra out for this one due to his red card suspension. Andrew Gutman was pending on the bench last time, so maybe could see him getting his work in here as well. Santiago Sosa came in. A lot up in the air for this next one.
Yeah, Mateus Ossetio is going to have some good feelings about facing Toronto again. He got that goal in the 1-1. Could be part of the midfield with Franco Ibarra out. Gutman pushing for time, Sosa pushing for time. The competition within the squad for playing time at a really good point for Atlanta United right now.
For broadcast info, you guys know the drill. You can catch this just like every other game through the MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. For Spanish radio, it'll be on La Mejor, and Jason will hear your voice on the airwaves just like usual.
Yeah, we're starting at 7 o'clock, Five Stripes Countdown on 92.9 The Game, and you can listen on the Odyssey app. You can also listen on the Atlanta United app. Kickoff right after 7:30, and we'll have the full-time report right after the final whistle.
To BMO Field we go across the northern border to Toronto, Canada to end this 2-game away streak before we get ready to play host to the Chicago Fire here back inside of the A at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That's Jason Longshore. I'm Joe Fryhofer. This has been your AT&T Countdown to Kickoff.